What's up, you guys? I am Luther Bravo, and this is going to be another one of my mini rants. So, for context, it is the end of October, as of the time of recording, 2025. I do not live in Maine. I do not have a dog in this race, but I am going to be talking about Graham Plattner, his Nazi tattoo, the Reddit comments, the whole shebang, and kind of in broad strokes as a left-leaning guy on the internet, right? So, boom. Graham Plattner, regular guy, was a Marine, right? Becomes a veteran, then becomes a mercenary for Blackwater, okay? Then, in the midst of that, I'm not entirely sure this exact timeline of how long the Reddit post and how far back they go, but racist, misogynistic, alt-right comments on Reddit. And the icing on the cake of all of this is on his chest, he has a Nazi tattoo, which he got covered up pretty poorly, right? So I want to talk about a few things. And again, I'm just going to reiterate right here, a minute in. I do not live in Maine. I do not have a dog in this fight, but we are more than a year out from the race. We're about a year, we're about 13 months out right now as of time of recording. And there's enough time for somebody else to jump in, for you guys to push another candidate. Like, all is not lost if the main voters do not all get behind the guy with the Nazi tattoo, right? So let's get into this, right? So the first thing that people are doing to defend this grown man is saying, well, he was drunk when he got it, right? I have tattoos. I'm not showing them in the video right now, but I have tattoos. Here's the thing, right? He was in Split, Croatia at the time that he got it. So Split, Croatia, which used to be Nazi occupied, right? That's something he would just know being there, right? Knowing that it's Split, Croatia. He's not serving in Croatia full. Like, what do we, you know what I mean? That's number one. So, two, to like be like, oh, I'm just going to go into any tattoo shop because I'm a drunk Marine, is already kind of, as far as decision making from a senator, maybe not what I would want, maybe not what I would vote for, right? Two, right, according to him, the story goes, he saw it on the wall and he said, yeah, I want that, right? Again, I have tattoos, right? You have to be at a tattoo parlor that specializes in hate symbols for it to be on the wall, for it to be in somebody's flash. Because if you go to any regular tattoo shop, like, of course, some of them have like themes, like whether they do traditional or Japanese or New Age or whatever, but you're not going to see different stylizes of hate symbols in their flash or on the wall. Like, that's not what you're going to see, because that's not what most tattoo artists want to do. They don't like perpetuate hate. Like, that's not what, so that's number one, right? So you have to, number one is that he has to be in a very specific place in the first place to even get it. Two, even if he's drunk, he has to be sober at some point. He has to be sober at some point and look at his chest and go, ooh, what is that? Even if he doesn't know what it is, right? So, and then that's the next argument, is like, well, I bet you didn't know what the symbol was before you saw it on his chest. And it's like, you know what? I'm sure a lot of people didn't. But you know what? A lot of people also don't have it tattooed. A lot of people also don't get something that they don't know what it is tattooed on them. If like that line of thinking, right? He's either stupid or really bad at making decisions. And either way, is that who you want being a federal senator? Come on, be realistic, be real. And if you see stuff on my hands, it's paint. I paint. Bro, like, it's just so frustrating. It's just so frustrating and so disingenuous. I'm not even gonna get into the whole purity politics of what people were talking about Kamala Harris a year ago during her campaign, right? A month before her election, even though we're, again, 13 months out from what would be his election. This is crazy. This is crazy, right? And that's assuming he wins the general. This is crazy. And then I already know some of the bots are going to be like, well, Kamala Harris didn't win the general. We all know the situation there. stop it. So it's just so frustrating because it's just like we can want regular people and we can accept different things. I'm not saying there's no place for a grand platinum in politics, but what I am saying is that like there's so many steps in between regular guy, former mercenary with a Nazi tattoo who has questionable comments online to federal senator. Like there are steps in between that. There's mayor, there's even governor, not even to say that he should just be a first time governor, right? But like, there's assemblyman, there's comptroller, even like just anything else besides like almost like as high as you could go without running for president on a no name. You know what I mean? This is what I feel like is getting lost here, right? How important the seat is. It's not just some random role and we're just trying to get a guy in and we're just trying to move the machine, right? This is a very important seat up there in Maine. This impacts the whole country. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? People from Maine aren't going to be chiming in. I don't have a direct dog in this race, but overall, I do. If he doesn't work with the Democrats, I do. If he switches up, what does he mean by anti-establishment? I do, because we have no proof on this guy and his past is questionable, and we shouldn't just give him because he's saying I'm different now. You don't just give somebody the biggest opportunity ever, right? There's steps, there's levels. We don't just jump right to senator, right? At least that's what I would assume. At least that's what I would think in my noggin, right? And I think it's just so crazy that people are like, yo, I don't want to vote for a guy at all with a Nazi tattoo. And like that, I think shows how much Trump has just changed the political landscape, because like I remember, like I'm young, but I'm not that young. I remember a time where if we said a candidate had a Nazi tattoo, they would be out and that would be it, and it wouldn't be a discussion from either side, from either party, and this wouldn't be purity politics or the left not, you know what I mean, being so reactionary. Like, we used to be Americans, all of us. We used to all hate Nazis. What happened to that? I'm Luther Bravo. You guys have been great. See you next time.